reporting.
The lymphatic system. One of the basic tenets of life is that many organisms consume or use other organisms in order to survive. Some microorganisms, such as certain bacteria or viruses, uses humans as a source of nutrients as an environment where they can survive and reproduce. As a result, some of these microorganisms can damage the body, causing disease or even death. Any substance of microorganism that causes disease or damage tissues of the body considered as pathogen. Not surprisingly, the body has ways to resist or destroy pathogens. This chapter considers how the lymphatic system and components of other systems such as white blood cells and phagocytes continuously provide protection against pathogens. The lymphatic system is important for the protection of the body, but in addition to this system carries out other functions. The function of the lymphatic system includes fluid balance. About 30 liters of fluid pass from the blood capillaries into the interstitial spaces of each day, whereas only 27 liters pass from the interstitial spaces back into the blood capillaries. If the extra 3 liters of interstitial fluid remained in the interstitial spaces, edema would result, causing tissue damage and eventually death. Instead, 3 liters of fluids enters the lymphatic capillaries. Once inside the lymphatic capillaries, this fluid is called lymph, and it passes through the lymphatic vessels to return the blood. In addition to water, lymph contains solutes derived from the two sources, substance in plasma such as ions, nutrients, gases, and some proteins. Pass from the blood capillaries in through the interstitial spaces into the lymphatic capillaries to become part of the lymph. Substances such as hormones, enzymes, and waste products derived from the cells within the tissues are also part of the lymph. Lipid absorption. The lymphatic system absorbs lipids and other substances from the digestive tract through the lymphatic vessels called lacteals, located in the lining of the small intestine. Lipids enter the lacteals and pass through the lymphatic vessels to the venom circulation. Lymph passing through these lymphatic vessels appear white because of its lipid content is called chyle. Defense. Pathogens such as microorganisms and other foreign substances are filtered from the lymph by the lymph nodes and from the blood by the spleen. In addition to lymphocytes and other cells are capable of destroying pathogens. Because of the lymphatic system is involved in fighting infections as well as filtering blood and the lymph to remove pathogens. Many infectious diseases produce symptoms associated with the lymphatic system.
Good morning. Let's proceed to the anatomy of lymphatic, and we will discuss first the lymphatic capillaries and the lymphatic vessels. So the lymphatic system includes lymph, lymphocytes, lymphatic vessels, lymphatic nodes, the tonsils, the spleen, and the thymus. The lymphatic system, unlike the circulatory system, does not circulate fluid to and from tissues. Instead, the lymphatic system carries fluid in one direction from tissues to the circulatory system. So, we are probably familiar sa circulatory system and the blood that flows through it that supplies every tiny capillaries of our body, as well as the nutrients and the oxygens. So, kapag nadadapa tayo, makikita agad natin yung dugo because that's the only fluid na nagsisirculate sa ating body. But ang hindi natin alam, there's another system na nagwo-working along sa circulatory system, which is yun nga yung lymphatic system natin. At ang lymphatic system natin consists of lymphatic vessels, glands or nodes, and the organs. Lymphatic vessels carry lymph away from tissues. Valves in the vessels ensure the one-way flow of lymph. Skeletal muscle contraction of vessels, smooth muscle, and contraction pressure of changes move the lymph through the vessels. The thoracic duct and right lymphatic duct empty lymph into the blood. So, isa sa mga function ng ating lymphatic system is nire-return niya yung mga excess fluid at ina-absorb niya yung mga excess protein and nire-return niya ito sa ating bloodstream. So, nabanggit nga kanina na about 20 liters ng fluid daw yung nalilix out sa capillaries natin everyday. And yung mga fluid na yun, it includes water, gases, ions, proteins, nutrients, and 17 liters dun is nare-absorb siya. Pero meron daw dun 3 liters na hindi siya nare-absorb ng ating blood vessels. At dyan papasok yung ating lymphatic system. Doon sa lymphatic system, meron siyang lymphatic vessels at ang function niya is yung lymphatic vessels natin is around lang siya sa capillaries natin. Siya yung nagko-collect ng mga excess fluid and eventually nire-deposit niya ito sa ating circulatory system. So, yung lymphatic vessel natin is nag-merge siya sa isang parang larger lymphatic trunks, and after that nire-reach niya yung lymphatic duct at where yung excess fluid na tinatawag natin na lymph, babalik siya ulit dun sa vein. At isa sa mga major ducts nga sa ating body ay yung minention kanina na thoracic duct, which is located siya sa chest part natin. Kaya mahalaga na yung mga excess fluid na yung mga excess fluid is makabalik siya sa ating bloodstream because na-prevent nito yung mga fluids na nagkakos ng damage sa ating cells. At kapag hindi na-re-enter yung fluid sa ating circulatory system, maaaring may tendency na yung blood natin could be maging thicker at makakaapekto yun para mahirapan na makapag-transport ng oxygen at ng nutrients sa ating body. At lastly, yung mga fluid natin is contains of mga waste molecules and mga toxins na kailangan na ma-eliminate sa ating body.
Good morning everyone. My part in this topic is the lymphatic organs. First is the cervical lymph nodes. The network of organs and tissues that makes up the lymphatic system aids in maintaining immunity. The small kidney-shaped lymph nodes functions as filters in this system. They contain and eliminate bacteria, fungi, and viruses before they have a chance to enter the bloodstream again. The cervical lymph nodes can be found in the front, sides, and back of the neck. They are usually smaller than 1 cm in diameter. The common causes of lymph nodes is infection, cold, flu, tonsillitis, strep throat, and sore throat. Cervical lymph nodes can be treated by taking ibuprofen or adequate rest, or warm and wet washcloth compress. You can feel cervical lymph nodes unless it get infected and it get bigger. Cervical lymph nodes are not a serious condition, but pag nagtagal to ng 2 to 4 weeks, you need to consult a doctor because it may lead to infections like tuberculosis or some type of cancer. Next is the lymphatic of the mammary gland. In breast tissue, lymphatic circulation aids in both regulating the local fluid balance and removing hazardous materials. However, the lymphatic system of the breast can also transfer illness like cancer throughout the body. Invading malignant cells use lymphatic veins as a highway to travel to different areas of the body. Cisterna chyli. One sizable lymphatic collecting structures in the midline is the cisterna chyli. To left and right lateral branches, it gathers lymphatics from the lower extremities, and to an intestinal branch, it gathers lymphatics from the intestinal system. Cisterna chyli can be found in the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. It is an integral part of the packaging and modification process of proteins occurring in the Golgi. It also collects lipid products that have formed in digestive organs. Lumbar lymph nodes. The lymph nodes located in the retroperitoneal compartment, which include the uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, and testes, are referred to as the retroperitoneal lymph nodes or lumbar lymph nodes. The main function of these lymph nodes is filtering interstitial fluid collected from soft tissues and eventually returning into the vascular system. The causes of this lymph node is injury and infection. Next is pelvic lymph nodes. The hip bones, bladder, rectum, and male or female reproductive organs are located in the pelvis, which is the region of the body beneath the abdomen. Pelvic lymph node extract and filter lymph from the surrounding tissues and the pelvic. Surgery may be used to remove pelvic lymph nodes that are close to a tumor. In cancer, in order to look for evidence that the disease has spread, the causes of pelvic lymph nodes is infection from viruses or bacteria. The symptoms are pain, fatigue, night sweat, weight loss, and fever. Lower limb lymph vessels form a drainage system that runs parallel to the blood vessels. Cell waste must be removed from the body, and extracellular fluid that has escaped the circulatory system must be drained and returned to the venous system via the lymph vessels. Lymphatic of the lower limb can also be called lymphedema. It refers to the tissue swelling caused by an accumulation of protein-rich fluid that's usually drained through the body's lymphatic system. It affects the arms and legs. It can also occur in the chest wall, abdomen, neck, and genitals. Next is thymus. Thymus principally in charge of producing and developing immune cells, particularly the tiny lymphocytes that shield the body from external antigens. The lymphoid tissues, resident cells originate from the thymus, which also facilitates the tissue's development and appropriate operation. Thymus also trains white blood cells called T lymphocytes or T cells. Next is thoracic duct. The thoracic duct, also known as Van Horn's Canal, is the largest lymphatic vessels of the lymphatic systems of the body. The functions of the thoracic duct is to transport lymph back into the circulatory system. Interstitial fluid is collected by lymph capillaries from the interstitial space. Lymph then moves through lymphatic vessels to lymph nodes. Lymphatic vessels merge to create the lymphatic ducts, which drain into the venous system. Next is spleen. The spleen is a small organ inside your left rib cage, just above the stomach. If the spleen is malfunctioning, it can cause a loss of appetite, and it may also lead to anemia, and its symptom is weakness and fatigue and frequent colds and infections. Next is axillary lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are small clumps of immune cells that act as filters for the lymphatic system. They also store white blood cells that help fight illness. It causes injury to the armpit, injury to the hand, and injury to the arm. Axillary lymph nodes can be found in our armpits. The last one is inguinal lymph nodes. The inguinal lymph nodes are in the groin area and classify as superficial and deep. The superficial inguinal lymph nodes reside below the inguinal ligament and subdivide into the inferior, supercollateral, and supermedial nodes.
So now I will discuss the overview of the lymphatic system. So this diagram summarizes the performance of lymphatic system that happens in our body. So you can see the number 1. These capillaries and vessels remove fluids from tissues, or in other words, the fluids in the tissues goes into lymphatic capillaries, and this fluid, once it's inside the lymphatic capillaries, it becomes the lymph fluid. Then this fluid flows through lymphatic vessels here, which have bulbs that prevents the backflow of lymphs. So para hindi bumalik yung yung mga limbs, meron tayong tinatawag na bulbs. And then, we have these lymph nodes. Lymph nodes filters the limbs, and this is also the sites where lymphocytes responds to infections. Kung yung lymph nodes ang pinifilter niya ay limbs, then ang spleen naman ang pinifilter niya ay blood. And then number 4, the filtered limbs goes or enters the thoracic duct or the right lymphatic duct. And sa number 5, the lymph enters the body. Lacteals, number 6, kapag pumasok na yung limbs sa blood. And then, number 6, you can see here the thoracic duct. Lacteals in the small intestine absorbs lipids which enters the thoracic duct. And then, once the thoracic duct, the chyle, which is lymph containing lipids, enters the blood. So, kapag yung limbs pumasok sa thoracic duct, it will absorb lipids, and then those limbs na may lipids enters the blood. Kapag yung limbs ay may contains lipid na, ang tawag na sa kanya ay chyle. And then, number 8, the spleen. So, sabi ko kanina, spleen filters the blood, and is also the site where lymphocytes responds to infections. And number 9, lymphocytes, Pred-T and Pred-T cells originates from stem cells in the red bone marrow. The pre-B cells becomes mature B cells in the red bone marrow, while it releases the blood. While the pre-T cells enter the blood and migrate to the thymus, and then these T cells, the thymus, will mature in thymus. The thymus is where the T cells derived from bone marrow increase in numbers and become mature T cells and released into the blood. Here, all lymphatic tissues in number 11, B cells and T cells from blood enters and populate all lymphatic tissues. These lymphocytes can remain in tissues or pass through them and return to the blood. B cells and T cells can also respond to infections by dividing and increasing in number. Some of the newly formed cells enters the blood and circulate again through the tissue. So that is the overview of the process of the lymphatic system, of how we respond to the infection. Now, let's proceed to immunity. So, lagi tayong nagbabanggit ng immunity, pero ngayon, discuss natin ano nga ba yung immunity. So, immunity is the ability of our body to resist damage from pathogens. So, yung mga pathogens, so yung mga bad substance organisms na pumapasok sa ating body. These are microorganisms, harmful chemicals such as toxins released by microorganisms, and internal threats such as cancer cells. So, the immunity is categorized into two systems that works together to protect our body. These two systems are referred as innate immunity and adaptive immunity.
Innate immunity. The body recognizes and destroys certain pathogens, but the response to them is the same each time the body is exposed to that pathogen. Second, adaptive immunity. The body recognizes and destroys pathogen, but the response to them improves each time the body is exposed to that pathogen. Specificity is the ability of adaptive immunity to recognize a particular substance. Memory is the ability of adaptive to remember previous encounters with a particular substance. Innate immunity involves many mechanisms that help protect the body. These mechanisms include physical barriers, chemical mediators, white blood cells, and inflammatory response. Physical barriers. Number 1. The skin and mucous membranes are barriers that prevent microorganisms from entering the body. Number 2. Tears, saliva, and urine wash away microorganisms. Chemical mediators. Number 1. Chemical mediators kill pathogens, promote phagocytosis, and increase inflammation. Number 2. Lysozyme in tears and complement in plasma are examples of chemicals involved in innate immunity. Number 3. Interferons prevent the replication of viruses. White blood cells. Number 1. Chemotaxis is the ability of cells to move toward pathogens or sites of tissue damage. Number 2. Neutrophils are the first phagocytic cells to respond the pathogens. Number 3. Macrophages are large phagocytic cells that are active in the latter part of an infection. Macrophages are positioned at sites where pathogens may enter tissues. Number 4. Basophils and mast cells promote inflammation. Eosinophils also play a role in inflammation associated with allergic reactions. Number 5. Natural killer cells lyse tumor cells and virus-infected cells. Inflammatory response. Number 1. Chemical mediators cause vasodilation and increase vascular permeability, allowing chemicals to enter damaged tissues. Chemical also attract phagocytes. Number 2. The amount of chemical mediators and phagocytes increase until the cause of inflammation is destroyed. Then the tissues undergo repair. Number 3. Local inflammation produces redness, heat, swelling, pain, and loss of function. Symptoms of systemic inflammation include an increase in neutrophil number, fever, and shock.
Yung innate immunity is also called non-specific resistance, while the adaptive immunity is also called specific resistance. So, the innate immunity, ang pinagkaiba niya sa adaptive immunity, ang innate immunity, body recognizes and destroys certain pathogen, but the response to them is same in each time the body is exposed to that certain pathogen. While kapag yung adaptive immunity, the body recognizes and destroys pathogens, but the response to them improves each time the pathogen is encountered. So, ang pagkakaiba nila, yung innate, paulit-ulit lang yung pag-response niya sa pag-atake dun sa pathogens. While yung sa adaptive immunity, nag-i-improve yung pag-destroy niya sa pathogens. Parang natututo siya. So, umaayos, nag-i-improve kung paano niya i-destroy yung pathogen. So, ano ang mas maganda? Ibig sabihin, mas maganda kapag adaptive immunity. Next, this specificity and memory are the characteristics of adaptive immunity, but not in innate immunity. So, ito yung mga characteristic kung bakit ganun na lang kagaling yung adaptive immunity na ma-improve yung way niya ng pag-destroy ng pathogen. So, meron siyang specificity. It is the ability of adaptive immunity to recognize a particular substance na re-recognize niya. So, sa memory, it is also the ability of adaptive immunity to remember previous encounters with a particular substance. So, yung adaptive immunity, kaya niyang maalala na ito yung before na naging pathogens ng body na to. So, naaalala niya. Halimbawa, kapag yung innate immunity can act against bacteria in general, whereas adaptive immunity can distinguish among various kinds of bacteria. So, in this adaptive immunity, the response during the second, kapag na-encounter niya ulit yung pathogen na ito, mas mabilis yung pag-destroy niya, mas malakas pati yung magiging way niya ng pag-destroy kesa dun sa naunang way niya ng pag-destroy, kasi nag-i-improve, lumalakas, bumibilis yung pag-atake niya dito sa pathogen na ito. While, kapag naman sa innate immunity, each time the body is exposed to that specific pathogen, the response is the same because wala siyang specificity and memory sa previous pathogens. Hindi niya naalala yung previous. So, same lang ng same yung nagiging way niya ng pag-destroy. So, that is the innate immunity and adaptive immunity that will be discussed later on, and mas complex ang adaptive immunity kasi meron pa siyang mga specificity and memory which is lacks in innate immunity.
The adaptive immune system is a complex defense system within your body that specifically targets pathogens like viruses and bacteria. Unlike the innate immune system, which offers general defense, the adaptive immune system tailors its response to its unique threats. This specificity allows its launch to a power attack against invaders while minimizing harm to healthy tissues. There are two main types of cells involved in adaptive immune system, which is B cells and T cells. B cells produce antibodies, pathogens that can bind to specific pathogens and neutralize them. T cells, on the other hand, is directly attack infected cells or pathogens themselves. Here's an example of how adaptive immune system works within the common cold. The cold virus enters your body. When a cold virus enters your respiratory tract, it infects the cell lining your nose and throat. The next one is innate immune system triggers inflammatory response. The innate immune system kicks in first, sending white blood cells to the area of infections. These white blood cells try to destroy the virus particles. The third one is B cells and T cells become activated. If the innate immune system can't eliminate the virus on its own, B cells and T cells become activated. B cells become producing antibodies specific to the cold virus. The fourth one is antibodies neutralize the virus. The antibodies bind to the cold virus, preventing it from infecting health cells. The fifth one is T cells destroy infected cells, and T cells identify and destroy cells infected by the cold virus. The last one is develop of immune memory. Once you recovered from your cold, your immune system retains memory of the virus. It means that if you encounter the same cold virus again, your immune system can respond much faster and prevent you from getting sick. The adaptive immune system ability to remember and respond to the past stress, it is what allows vaccines to work. Vaccines introduce weakened and inactive from a virus or bacteria into the body, triggering the adaptive immune system to develop immunity without causing the actual illness.
So, next naman is the acquired immunity. So, kung yung innate immunity natin is something we are born with, yung adaptive immunity natin is something we acquired. So, ang acquired immunity natin is subdivided siya into two, the natural and the artificial. So, pag sinabi natin na natural, it is something we got it from nature. So, under nito is the passive and the active. So, when we say the passive nature immunity, is more on wala tayong ginawa dito. We are preformed, we are pre-made. So, ito yung mga natratransfer ng, ito yung mga antibodies na natratransfer ng nanay sa kanilang fetus through, whether through their placenta or through breastfeeding. However, yung active nature immunity naman is something na we did something. Yung mga antigens niya na nag-enter sa body naturally or kunwari sa nanay, and then eventually yung body is na-form. Kasi nga ang ibig sabihin nga ng ating active nature immunity is results from everyday exposure to an antigen against which the person's own immunity system mounts a response. So, next naman is yung sa artificial. Ang artificial is this one is may exposure na siya sa vaccine. So, kunyari yung mga doktor natin sa mga artificial, kung ano-anong tinuturok niya sa mga pasyente niya. So, meron tayong dalawang under din nun, which is the passive artificial and the active artificial. So, when we say passive artificial, kunwari nga yung doktor, binigyan kanya ng antibodies, then antibodies that were pre-made by another patient. So, kinuha yung antibodies na yan by another patient. Then, inad yun ng doktor sa katawan mo. So, itong ang ibig sabihin lang nitong passive artificial is ito yung mga antibodies na pre-made siya from another patient, tas inad siya sa katawan mo. Next naman is yung active artificial, wherein ito yung mga resistance natin sa mga disease as a result of antibodies produced from a vaccine. Example nito ay yung mga immunity natin sa mga polio, tapos sa mga chickenpox, tapos sa mga HEPA. Big sabihin nga kasi ng ating active artificial immunity is a result from deliberate exposure to an antigen or vaccine to which the person's own immunity system responds.
Overview of immune interaction. Although the immune interaction can be described in terms of innate, antibody-mediated, and cell-mediated immunity, these categories are artificial division used to emphasize particular aspect of immunity. In actuality, there is only one immune system, but its responses often involve components of more than one type of immunity. Pag sinabi nating immune interaction, ito yung interaction na nade-develop ng immune responses na interaction siya between different types ng cells sa katawan ng tao. This is achieved by molecules on the surface of cell making contact with each other by the secretion of cytokines which convey information from one cell to another. May dalawang types ng immunity. Una ay yung innate immunity at adaptive immunity. Pag sinabing innate immunity, ito yung general responses that does not improve with subsequent exposure. Pag sinabi namang adaptive immunity, ito yung specific responses na nag-i-improve with subsequent exposure. Begins with a macrophage presenting on antigen to help T cell. Next naman nating topic ay yung immunotherapy. Knowledge of how the immune system operates has produced two fundamental benefits: an understanding of the cause and progression of many diseases and
the develop or propose development of methods to prevent, stop, or even reverse disease. Immunotherapy treats diseases by altering immune system function or by directly attacking harmful cells. Some approach attempt to boost immune system function in general. Example nito is yung administering cytokines or other agent na nagpo-promote dun sa inflammation and activate immune cells na nakakatulong siya sa pag-destroy ng mga tumor cells or nakaka-destroy ng mga tumor cells. And, on the other hand naman, sometimes sila din yung nagpe-prevent dun sa immune system natin para makatulong sa mga cells sa katawan. Tapos ito naman yung mga effect ng aging on the lymphatic system and immunity natin. Aging has little effect on the lymphatic system, ability to remove fluid from tissues, absorb lipids from the digestive tract, or remove the effective red blood cells from the blood. Decreased helper T cell proliferation result in decrease. Ito naman yung mga effect of aging dun sa lymphatic system and immunity ng tao. Una doon ay yung aging has little effect on the lymphatic system. Ability to remove fluids from tissues, absorb lipids from the digestive tract, or remove defective red blood cell from the blood. Yung pangalawa naman doon ay yung decreased helper T cell proliferation result in decreased antibody-mediated and cell-mediated immune responses. Pangatlo naman doon ay yung the primary and secondary antibody responses decrease with age. Pang-apat or last is the ability to resist intracellular pathogens decreases with age.